The world we once knew has been lost to shadow. Was it thunder and fire and brimstone? Drowned in flood and rain? Was it tragic decadence? A great fall? Unspeakable corruption? Or did the awakening of magic destroy our world? No one knows for certain. Reach through the shadowy mists. Find a fragment of land infested with shadowy corruption, yet lit enough to find your way. Find a creature of light, a synth. They are friendly and willing to guide you. Perhaps the two of you can find other survivors. Perhaps this land can serve as a shelter. Perhaps together you can build a sort of haven. Forge friendships to save the world.
Hello, and welcome to the Unleashed Games weekly playtest, where you guys join us live as we playtest our game Haven and find out what we want to fix the most and ways that we can make it better. Thank you so much for joining us. We're a little bit late today, so thank you for your patience. We had some technical issues that we had to jump, or some hoops that we had to jump through, but we are good and golden, and we cannot wait to get started because we have an amazing guest. But first, I like to say thank you to the team that works really hard every single week to not only put on this playtest, but to help move our business forward, and the investors that we have that have joined us to date to be able to help us move our mission along. And we couldn't do it without everybody. And we actually see our team as investors too. So we're really grateful for the time that they invest as we seek to raise more money and make this game, this great thing that we're building, a reality. Because we are building a family-friendly cooperative RPG with a survival crafting loop that we think is the best possible game that you can imagine. This game is an expression of 25 years of concurrent experience making MMOs and mobile games and some of the biggest games in the world to make the best possible gameplay experience that we've always wanted to make. And here we are. And we playtest this game on this stream every week because we want your feedback. We want to show you what progress we made. And we also want to get the opinions of amazing other game developers on what it is that we're building and share it back. Because we really believe in developing video games out in the open and really engaging a community and building a community, all of you, early on. Because that's what games are for, is building great communities, fandom around games that you love. I've been a fan of some of the, some games. I've been an obsessive fan, for instance, EverQuest. I played that game for 7 years. World of Warcraft, too. I played that game so much that I went and worked on it. These are games that we love and become a part of our lives, and that's the kind of game that we want to make Haven. And that's why you're all here with us today. Thank you so much. So this is actually my opportunity to introduce somebody that I did work on a game so many years ago with, a game that later was called Kingdoms of Amalur, but we called it Project Copernicus. Joe Mirabello and I worked together at 38 Studios. Joe, you should come and join us. But he was an incredible artist. There we are. Hey, Joe. Oh, you're muted. Hold on. Let's fix you. Welcome, Joe.
Any better? Hello.
There we go. We can hear you. Yay.
Excellent.
Thank you for joining us. Joe is actually the CEO of Terrible Posture Games. Legend in its own right. Creator of, like, Joe, you and I worked together at 38, right? Many years ago.
Many years ago,
and
yes.
Then you surprised the crap out of us by releasing Tower of Guns, the funniest meta, like, game, like, epic experience, an explosion of violence. Tell us, how'd you come up with Tower of Guns?
Well, I wanted to work on something completely different than an MMO. And I'm saying this talking to someone who's, dedicated their lives to MMOs. But after Project Copernicus shut down, which I'm sure you've, regaled your audience with that story many times, I was tired of working on projects that involved hundreds and hundreds of developers designed to be played concurrently by hundreds of thousands of players. And I wanted to work on something that was just made by one person for one player. And I wanted to work on an FPS because I'd never gotten a chance to. I'd worked on action RPGs and conventional RPGs and MMOs, but I'd never worked on an FPS, and I always wanted to. And so I was like, why? Well, I'll make my own. And I was doing it as a learning experience. I was just going to make something wacky, figured it would be maybe a year or two of a sabbatical. I wanted to get away from AAA and do something small for a little bit, and I did not anticipate it becoming a second career. And Terrible Posture Games went from just me to working on just me working on this little game called Tower Guns to then me and a team of people working on a follow-up called Mother Gunship. And the company now is 5 projects in, and we're more than a dozen people. And we just announced a game called Battle Train that we've been working on for quite a while, actually. And we're excited to see what people think. We're in the last arc of development on that game finally.
There's so much that you guys have made that are just like each and every game with the announcement has just been a moment of delight in my life. Like Mother Gunship came out, and then that was the sequel to Tower of Guns, right? Just even more guns.
It ended up becoming its own thing, but yeah.
Into kind of a mix of linear narrative.
We did. We wanted to work on a playable sitcom.
I missed what you said because of my internet connection.
We wanted to work on something that was pretty wacky and different and a parody of the game industry itself that we love and hold dear. We felt like it was time to ridicule it a little bit. And so we worked on this playable sitcom that we partnered with Epic for. And that was 3 out of 10, which was super wacky. And we worked on that for a good 2 years or so. And that basically led to us splitting into 2 different teams. It also looks like we just lost Irena, I think. I'm not sure. Am I the one running the stream now? This is exciting. I'm going to switch over to the comments so I can see what people are saying. Yes, we lost Irena. Okay, cool. This is my show now. All right. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Joe, it's Jason.
Hey, Jason.
We did lose Irena.
So, okay. I guess we can do whatever we want then for the stream now, right? That Irena's gone? Is that how this works?
That's absolutely right.
Yes, I won the stream.
So the first thing I noticed was we got a chat message here from Tozeb that says, lovely alt TP poster.
Alt TPG poster? Which one's that? That's Link to the Past. Yes. Sorry, I misinterpreted
I'm
that.
assuming it's the map on the wall behind you.
Yes. This was the game that got me, one of the games that got me into game development. Link to the Past, I was never able to play as a kid because I didn't have an SNES, but I remember the ad campaign for it, and I played it at a friend's house, and I just fell in love with how open that world is. Hugely influential game. I loved just the sense of exploration in that game. Hey, Irena, we're talking about the poster behind me. Are you back?
Oh, goodness. That's awesome. I think I'm back. Let's see if the internet gods let me stay back.
Okay, cool. We were
it looks like you're back. Also, I do have the Battle Train announcement trailer queued up if you want to do that.
Sure, let's go ahead and play it then, and then people can see what we've been up to over the last couple of months now.
Let's run the clip. let's run the clip. I've always wanted to say that. Now I feel like David
All right,
Letterman.
I'm out.
Let's get this train rolling. We randomly select an audience member, give them a starter deck of tactical construction cards and a pat on the back, and send them off into Destruction Valley.
Oh, Hank, I can't believe this is happening! Can I touch your mustache?
You know the name of the game.
Battle Train.
Battle Train.
Battle Train?
Let's play some Battle Train. Play your cards, build your tracks, launch explosive locomotives to destroy your enemies. Whoa now, this is off the rails. You have a shot at the big bucks and the title of President Conductor.
You are not worthy.
It's time for a little sideshow.
Let's get dick swabbing! Pretty good, eh?
Compete on the world's most popular game show. Battle Train!
It is true, everyone who likes Battle Train is very smart, or very good looking, or both. And they are quick to leave good product reviews and tell all their friends about Battle Train.
That gives you a good sense of or sense of humor, I guess. We've had a lot of fun working on that game.
For sure. I have always loved the sense of humor that has come out of Terrible Posture, and it's like it's in your name too. And I just again, I can't thank you enough for keeping the humor in the game industry, because everybody seems to be pretty serious with all the dark games. Like, we need more humor.
Oh, I love dark games too, but it just happens to be that we've made silly games right now. But yeah, the earlier on you had mentioned, right before you got cut off, we switched from FPSs to these more narrative games, and I should clarify that we still have been making other games as well. It's more like we split into two teams and we started basically hopscotching our way through multiple projects. So right before Battle Train, for example, we released Mother Gunship Forge, which was a VR version of follow-up to Mother Gunship. And that's probably our best reviewed game that we've made. It's sitting at something like 94% positive on Steam and is a really fun experience.
Surprised.
So we basically take what we've learned from each game forward, but we do have these two tracks of more narrative, sillier games, and then the wacky action games. Battle Train is a weird mix of kind of a lot of the different lessons we picked up along the way, and I'm really excited to see what people think. There's a demo that people can play now. It just was released yesterday on Steam. You can give it a run, and then in a couple of weeks, we're going to be running a Kickstarter for it to pick up additional funds to kind of polish it. We've got enough to be able to finish the game, but I think that the game deserves a little bit to be pushed a little bit further, and we'll be running that Kickstarter, and I invite everybody to follow us.
Yeah, and we're sending off into chat across all the different channels where you can wishlist Battle Train on Steam.
That's the most important thing. Yeah,
Joe's numbers.
Wishlisting is super. Man, since I started as an indie, it's amazing to watch how important wishlisting has become above everything else. Like, all the algorithms lean into those lists incredibly. So if you like any indie developer, not just Terrible Posture Games, but any indie developer who's got something on Steam, wishlisting the game is hugely beneficial.
Yeah, so please, friends, make sure to follow that link and wishlist the game. I'm going to go do that myself today, and let's see how we can help Terrible Posture in their positioning on the rankings. So fantastic. Have you ever played an MMO before, Joe?
A few. It's been many years, though. I will be the first to admit that I swore off of MMOs after 38 Studios closed. I loved the world building of WoW. I used to play, oh man, this is going to be embarrassing, but I ate a lot of bags of pretzel sticks while playing RuneScape. I loved RuneScape.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this was back in 2004, 2003.
Well, RuneScape actually holds a special place in the game heart.
Yeah, and it was the game that got me into understanding the social appeal of those games. In particular, it was just something you could kind of, you could literally, and I would do this. I'd come back from classes in college and just chow down on pretzel sticks while playing that game, and had a lot of fun. But then, World of Warcraft, like everybody, I did miss the EverQuest phase, but I did do my sentence. I did my time in World of Warcraft.
You did your time.
I did my time. Yeah. I really found the artistry of that game to be exceptional. And I've also discovered the kind of player I was through that game, which is to say that I'm not the most often targeted MMO player. I really enjoy being in a world with lots of players, but I tend to like to play solo. So, when you get to a certain point in World of Warcraft or almost any MMO, it becomes a social experience. And beyond the first 50 hours, 60 hours, it doesn't really cater to you anymore after that. So I love the idea of a living, breathing real world filled with real people. I did not like the fact that I have to, and this is inherent to any design of a MMO, you have to be a social person to enjoy the higher levels usually. And it almost always came down to obligation, like, hey, now you've got to spend 2 or 3 hours every night playing with a group of people in order to chip away at something. I liked spontaneous partnering up with somebody for quests. That I liked a lot. Making new friends, I liked a lot. It was mostly the raids or the high tier end game stuff that was a little bit less interesting to me as a player. But I understand why people like it and the kind of player that gravitate towards that. And I'm happy there's a genre that kind of facilitates that kind of large scale problem solving and basically group storytelling. I really like. It was just not for me as a player because I'm more antisocial.
Well, WoW really did have an emphasis on the raid, like the raid gameplay, and it like everything felt like it was like all the progression felt like it was in service to raids, whereas there was less of an enjoyment of the progression for the sake of the progression, which is I think what you're talking about.
I liked the progression for the sake of progression. I liked, the one I think I've always been a little bit interested in, but I'm not masochistic enough to give it a try, is Eve. Eve feels like it's a shared universe where you could exist as a small piece of a living world, and you are working together as a kind of a quiet group towards a whole story of the whole universe. And that I think is really interesting. But it also doesn't seem like it has quite the same, okay, everybody, we're meeting at like 5 o'clock today. We're gonna raid for 4 hours. We're gonna see if we can go through and take down this one thing to get a chance to get a drop. It seems more organic. This is not to be criticizing raids at all, because I think that they're awesome, and there's kinds of players out there that it's the perfect thing for. And if I had a group of 30 people that I wanted to have a weekly event or even multiple times a week event with, it seems perfect. It's like great. So for me, I just have always enjoyed the idea of going at my own pace on things. I'm the kind of player who spent a lot of time wandering around the environments in World of Warcraft trying to get into zones I shouldn't be allowed to go into, just to see if I could. And I actually ended up losing a character that way because this is early WoW days. They probably fixed it at some point. I managed to bug myself into dying in a zone that was about 40 levels higher than I should have been. And then I respawned in the middle of that zone, and I could never get back out again. I couldn't survive to get out of the zone back to a safe area. I mean, I guess they had Hearthstone.
Well, you got yourself into trouble, it sounds like.
Oh, but it was awesome. And I did it entirely by pathing around the perimeter of the rocks and like playing with collision. I'm the kind of person who
you're going to come and break our game is what you're going to do.
Because I like to break things. I like to just be like, can I get over that mountain? I don't want to fight any of these enemies. No, I don't care about that. I just want to see if I can climb the mountain. And I'll find a way to do it and cheat the collision. It was a lot of fun to do that sort of stuff.
Maybe it's time for us to jump in and play, huh?
Sure, yeah. I do have it up and
let me
right now.
see if my my computer allows me to run it on this dismal of an internet connection. Cross your fingers for me.
All right.
But hey.
Oh, someone asked me if I was Horde or Lions. I played both. I just jumped between the two depending on whether or not I wanted to be. Who did I play as? I liked Trolls. They were fun. And then I loved Dwarves. So depending on whether or not I felt like playing in a snowy area, because I thought WoW's, I can't remember the name of the snowy area that you started with in WoW. It was the Dwarf starting zone and the Gnome starting zone. can't remember what it was.
Dunmoreau. There we go. Tozeb. Tozeb is the keeper of lore. So
Yeah. Yeah, I loved the artwork of that. And I remember seeing Frozen Pond, and it was one of the first times I had seen working specular ice that was convincing in a game, especially given that scale. But that, like, I really enjoyed the world building for the dwarf areas. But then I enjoyed the humor and silliness of trolls.
And that's actually something that I kind of coming back to, especially with you, Joe, is like the sense of humor in World of Warcraft is part of what made it amazing, wasn't it?
It did have a lot of humor. It never took itself too seriously. I do feel it got a little Family Guy-ish at times with like cultural references. But that was also what drew me to the IP in the beginning. I remember in Warcraft 2, there would be references to movies. If you click on a character enough times, they start playing these weird like quotes and stuff. And that was kind of built into the DNA. And I think that was to its benefit in that it was never too serious, which made it okay to play if you weren't deep into fantasy as a genre, because it was almost making fun of itself.
That was my favorite thing about the Warcraft IP in general, is that it didn't take itself too seriously. And there were so many jokes in the interacting with the world that really just set the world apart and set the tone, very different from any other game. And I love that. I want more of that. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love what you've done at Terrible Posture. It's like you're still building games that don't take themselves too seriously. It's just like,
we don't. Yeah.
They're just awesome and fun.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not having fun making it, and if you don't have fun making fun of yourselves making it, then it's harder to see how players will enjoy it. So I'm noticing, by the way, is my screen share okay?
Yeah.
Also,
it seems to be working just fine. Though
okay,
you seem
great.
to be snared.
Yeah, that's what's going on. I think it feels like I'm choppy a little bit as I walk around. And I'm wondering if that's...
yeah, no, I've been noticing you on my, I don't know why you're running so weird.
Yeah, I'm watching other folks run around. I'm like, they're smoother than I am, and they're not local.
It looks like you might have gotten stuck a bug because did you fight anything earlier?
I did earlier, but this also started from the beginning when I spawned in. Maybe I can get snared again.
Oh, that's really strange. Oh, we found a cool bug. I don't even know what that would be. Try hitting either 7, 8, or 9, which is an emote.
Teleport home.
And
Oops,
now
I don't want to do
around.
that. Oh, looks like I'm teleporting home.
No, don't do that one. Well, I mean, you are.
Well,
right? Oh, there you go.
I couldn't undo that. I'm not very far. But yeah, when I loaded in, I loaded in snared
probably
like this.
Just at your... Oh, are you still snared?
Yeah, it feels like it. Oh, this is cool. This little trail telling me how to get back to where I was. I'm assuming that's what this is, these little sparkles.
It is. So that's a device that we've created. We call it the self trail, but it's just kind of like a little breadcrumbs that you leave wherever you go. They out after a while. But you'll find other players that way too, all around the world.
That's sparkly. Everybody loves sparkles.
See, where did you end up? There you go.
Here. Still moving. It feels
this
almost
is
as if
so
I'm partially
weird,
caught.
Jason.
The weird thing too is that so it's any movement.
So
at
this
all.
is game dev for real, my friends. Let's try teleporting. If you double
out of range, okay.
over on the beacon.
Shall we go to Adventureland?
Out to other zone.
Where are we going?
Let's go to Adventureland. What happens? Adventureland.
We are doing it.
And this doesn't clear the space.
Oh, much smoother.
That's really strange.
Nope. Now I'm not. It's like the second I start moving
Oh,
a little bit away.
Okay.
It's wacky. I did have another character that I rolled.
We have addressed.
I had also seen this
This-
last night when I just jumped in to quickly test, and it was a different character as well. So it must be something when I
Which
spawn it that's
character?
causing it to trigger. I tried a warrior red last night.
And was it a mage as well?
No, that was a warrior red.
A warriorette?
Hmm. Yeah, I've heard that there's multiple warrior colors, but only one nowadays, or there has been. I like the snowman.
Oh,
dude.
the warrior red. Why did I hear
Yeah.
warriorette? And I'm like, wait, is that a female warrior?
warrior.
That's an interesting
No.
name for a female
Warrior red. So, and it was a similar kind of snapping as well. So. I'm not
Okay,
sure
so
what the
with
deal was
two
there.
different classes.
Oh, it's already been
So it
looted.
must be something with is it your client? Because we need Dave Cham, Joe.
Yeah. It could be something with the client. Could be that I spawned in at the same time as something else, and it's fighting with collision. I mean, to me, it feels like a collision bug. It feels like I'm constantly being corrected for collision, just like a micro
Yeah,
correction. Who am I attacking? I didn't target anybody.
but even all of your animations look really slow too.
Yeah, everything feels a little bit sluggish. So I am totally going to get.
All right, you know what? I say we log you out and try you a new character.
All right.
Because I would much rather try to troubleshoot this and figure out if we can get you a character that works.
All right, then I will exit from here.
Because you're
It says I
gonna die. Yeah, you can just the lower right hand icon in the just ditch out. Poor Jason is gonna be left from his own devices. Here, I can help him.
It is grayed out right now. Maybe you can't leave mid combat.
Oh, you can't leave in combat. Here, let me help.
Oh, that's dead.
This one I've got. Cool.
What is that? Reduces threat, regenerates.
That
mana.
might have been your
Oh,
fate
was that in
ability.
there? Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
so
now
try
I can
logging out. Cool.
We'll load up the Haven client again.
Woo!
We'll create a new character. I think I have to be Joe M2 now. Healer female. I guess I'm a healer female.
Okay. I mean, you can that's a drop down too. You can select.
Yeah. I just forgot to click it. I clicked it all the other times, but not this time. But that's okay. All right. Am I
Wow,
stuttery?
look
Let's
at
find
how
out.
slow your camera is.
Everything feels a little bit sluggish, but the frame rate's fine. If I pan around, like it's loading fine, and this is smooth. That's why I don't think it's a GPU or a performance thing. And the machine's got pretty decent specs. It's not like a super powerful house machine, but it's a 3080 or 3070.
Okay, that's substantial enough. I mean, my daughter plays on a 3060 something.
Yeah, but it is certainly wacky.
What kind of video card are you running?
That's what I was saying. It's a an NVIDIA 3070. I have to go check.
Oh,
to
in
see if
NVIDIA.
it's
Yeah, that's
3070.
right. So, so how would we troubleshoot this? We have engineers in chat. Where would be the first place that we would look to be able to solve this?
Do you have any commands? I don't know the Unity commands, and that's chat. That wouldn't help me at all.
Yeah, no, I don't.
have console access.
I don't think we have any unit. Well, we have to run you in the. I think we'd want to get your DirectX profile. Would you mind sending us your DirectX profile when you get a chance?
Sure, I can do that after the stream.
Yeah. And that way we can at least try to see if there's a unique factor around any sort
you
of
know
the
what?
versions of your drivers or.
Potentially, maybe I can try and run this in compatibility mode and then see. Maybe it's. I can try running as administrator, but.
This is the stream content everybody's been waiting for.
Yeah.
Going
Super
through
exciting stream
Windows
content.
Explorer. No, actually, genuinely, I prefer this because, right we're actually finding bugs. We're actually, you know, finding a case that could affect a swath of users in the future, and now we can track it. And if you get us data around what your hardware layout is and your software layout, we might be able to prevent a lot of bugs and problems for players.
I mean, this is why you run playtests. I wish there was a way I could see the frame rate right now without while inherent into the game itself. Like there was console commands to run that stuff, but there's not.
Yeah, but the frame rate measure wasn't necessarily impactful or impacted by what was going on. It looked like an animation system bug, which is really weird.
It did. It felt like it too, or a collision. Like it felt like I was being micro-corrected, like I was fighting against something. Honestly, you know, I'm not a Unity person, I'm an Unreal person, but it felt like my collision capsule was buried by like a couple of units into the terrain. So it was constantly trying to move me up and then being corrected for.
Okay.
All right. So we'll just load in the same character and we'll see if it still happens. So
this happens. Let's get your screen share up there. And this is super valuable, finding this bug.
This is running in admin mode.
Okay.
So still very, very, very poppy.
What is up, my friend?
I'm gonna gather
and how's
some
your
wood.
interaction time?
95 ms. Is that what you're talking about right there? Interaction time is a cryptic number.
Your interaction time, like clicking on an object. Yeah, the animations.
It's totally animations that feel slow, like clicking and then the reaction time for it. Can I harvest this? No, that's not something to harvest. Is there anything else over here?
This is not our intended moment to moment. I'll tell you that for sure.
None of this stuff is clickable. I already got all the interactives here, it looks like. But
yeah, go in there and see what happens when that Kraken root attacks you.
Oh, I can do that. I'm just looking to see if I have anything.
You'll probably die, but sacrifice yourself for the greater good.
All right, let's go. So I'm approaching very slowly.
Yes.
Attack and then happen pretty quick. So yeah, the animations feel slow.
It's attacking you normal speed.
Yep.
Now try to move, actually, because you're snared, so it'll be extra slow. Does it feel worse or does it feel the same?
Nope, feels exactly the same. Maybe I am snared somehow.
But you can't be snared under multiple accounts. That's the thing, and multiple characters, sorry. It's gotta be something on your machine or with your internet connection.
It knows that I'm an Unreal user. It can sense it.
Oh, yeah, that's probably it.
What is this? Searing light. Well, I just did it. All right.
Well, cast it again. Maybe it'll survive this time.
Doesn't have a cooldown? It doesn't have a cooldown at all. All right. I'll take this thing down. All right. Okay. So after he plays its death animation, I should be able to loot it. So I will click and see how long. All right. And clicking now. That was pretty immediate.
Okay.
And UI interaction feels pretty immediate. Closing UI, immediate. And if I don't try and move and I pan around, this feels like super smooth. Like here, you can see the frame rate. It's not, it's not like 140 FPS, but it does feel like it is like 60.
Yeah, it's 50 to 70 up in the readout at your
yeah, there it is right there. 62. So yeah, if it's capped there, then I'm at the cap. So that's a sign.
So I think that this is somehow bound either to your character data or your account data, because you've changed out the unit and changed out the class, so you're using a different FPS,
here's another mystery for you, because I started a new account today to play this, and yesterday I had a different account. So because I had set up another completely different account last night when I just gave it a quick test run to see if it all loaded up okay. Same exact issue, and I was like, this is weird, it feels stuttery. So that points to it being a machine thing and not even an account thing. Now maybe it's an account thing due to my machine, but it is repeatable enough. Or potentially something else running.
Yeah, no, I actually wish we could look at the server logs to see if it's reflected in your player position that's being validated on the server. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Do you have access to that?
No, I don't. But I don't think we have access to that right now. But this is fantastic.
Tell me about what's
Just,
going
like,
on over here with all these
wandering
different
around.
floors, by the way. There's a
So
lot of different floors.
these little lightsaber pillars are stand-ins for some of our teleports. And one of the things that we like about the pillar of light is that you can often see it in the dark from a long distance away. So it can draw the player to the POI, the point of interest. But we use them as teleports into different zones. So this zone that you're in is the village zone. And here there's a lot of UGC driven like village gameplay where you can build a house. When you
I assume
can
not
actually
me, just
move
meaning
and
you, the player, will be able to build houses here, like somebody who's got
you
stuff.
the player. Well, you can actually build a house here because this is your home village as your player data is attached to here. And everybody else in your village can have their own house, and those houses can be customized. And how you customize that house affects your gameplay. So, and it affects the expression of your class, right? So the more you upgrade your house, like you'll have a high-level mage tower if you are a high-level mage.
That's fun.
And then everybody's house also implies the village itself that they live in, and with certain like criteria being met, very similar to an RTS. Like if there are a certain number of houses, then you can unlock a town hall. And if you build that town hall together, you then a stable, you can build a blacksmith, all these things where you can work together to unlock deeper and deeper gameplay as you progress your village.
Okay.
And that's kind of the start of at least this part of the game. And in fact, down in the hammer icon down below in your menu bar is actually our rudimentary build menu.
Oh, I see. And that's why the snowman was over there before. Let's build a snowman. Everybody wants to build a snowman.
There you go.
Can I build something else
Do
too?
you want to build a snowman?
Fire. Everybody loves
Show
fire.
M2. You are lowercase m. Everybody loves fire.
Yeah.
So that's actually one of the things I'm really looking forward to continuing to develop is this village building system.
You know what? I'm curious about something. Let me try
I'm
something.
not
real quick.
able to.
I'm going to
Yeah.
try this in windowed mode. Hey, look at this.
Wait,
Just on a
no
hunch.
kidding.
Just on a hunch, I hit Alt Enter to make it not full screen, but make it windowed full screen, which I don't remember. I don't know how I knew that one because I don't think Unity is the same one as Unreal there. But this is way faster. now.
No, you're
Still a
actually
little
moving
stuttery,
around
though.
normally.
Is that normally? It's still a little
It is
stuttery.
stuttery, and it's almost a little extra fast. Or no, maybe it's just the stutter.
Just
This
making
has
up
got to
the
be an
lost line.
animation system bug.
Well, it could also be input. Like maybe I'm not capturing or maybe it's not capturing the mouse correctly because it's in this windowed enter. So rather than Unity, it's a Windows thing, right? Alt Enter, yeah. But this is the kind of thing too where if you got in a rudimentary options menu to toggle between resolutions and render modes, then you probably could replicate it pretty well on your side. I suspect if it's what I think it is.
Mm-hmm. This is good.
Let's show
And
the bite too.
I am unable to teleport to you.
This guy died way
Do you
over
know
here.
if you logged into the California server?
I should have. That was the default, I believe.
Okay, good.
But I can log back
I
out
don't
and come
know
to you with the
why.
other character, right?
Yeah, you should be able to now. As long
Let's
as you
try
run
it.
in windowed mode. Let's test it! Yay! This is cool.
All right.
This is really cool.
What was my name? Was it Joab or Joe? There's Joab right there. All right. Right, because I did a different
animations work
name that I had for the other one. So we'll see if I join you wherever you are now. Nope, I'm still here now. And I'm moving faster, but stuttering. Everybody respawned on me. I don't even know what my abilities do. I haven't been looking.
Well, maybe you should catch up on what your class can do.
Well, I keep changing my class.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, we really we focused on getting multi-class gameplay in, which of course we've been able to test because your animation's been perfectly fine the whole time.
It's much faster now. Hey, there's somebody. Who's that? It's Jason.
It's Jason. I think I got logged out, so I'm coming in behind you. Coming right forward.
And you always respawn back in this, back in that little grove back there?
For now, yes. We don't have, like, persistence on positions between logins. Just yet.
I apologize if I sound a little stuffy to everybody on camera. I'm been fighting a stuffy nose for a while.
That sucks. I'm so sorry. Well, thank you for joining us, even though you're fighting something off.
Well, I feel okay. It's just like this. I had a cold like 3 weeks ago. It's like this residual, like just can't quite shake the last little bit of it, which is annoying. But what do these beacons mean? This is Adventureland again. So the other beacons, do they go to other zones, or is it just Adventureland right now?
They do go to other zones, and in fact, they show off some of our zone building capabilities. So let me come and find you. I just got my rested buff. Oops,
this one says Adventureland 2.
There should also be Island Land.
I want to go to Island Land. Everybody wants to go to Island Land. That sounds tropical.
Oh, I'm following all of these self trails. It's cool. All right. So if you go back behind the rocks where there are the hidden pillars.
Oh, okay. Back, unless there's other rocks. Nope, those are the only rocks.
The big tall rocks over there.
Mm-hmm. I was just making sure those are the only ones.
So we use this as a shortcut, a dev shortcut. You know how you have those for zone entrances. Yep. To the right, this is our boss's lair, which the boss is bugged out, so we can't go and take him down. Jason has warned us. But there's other places where we can find the boss, which is this secret hidden pillar right here. This is a little Easter egg. Not the tree, the stone pillar. Let's go here to Island Land.
Island Land. I'm doing it.
I'm so glad we fixed your animations issue and movement issue.
Well, improved it. So this looks very much like the old land. It's just red.
It's just red, yes. So this is a very raw zone. This is what our zone generator generates without any sort of like designer really getting into it and customizing it.
Okay.
Oh, did you go back?
No.
Oh wait, no, you didn't teleport. No, you're still in the village zone.
I clicked on it and then it faded out.
Double click on it. Try again, because I didn't see you zone in with me.
Oh, no, I must
go.
have not clicked it right. I guess there's a right way to click and a wrong way to click.
Apparently,
there's some water.
There's not only animation issues. There's the water.
Can I bring the camera below the water? I can. Breaking stuff right away, Irena.
You see, this is why we bring Joe for a ride. We just break things. And we swim, too. I actually love the way that the sylph looks in the light source under the water. So pretty. Let's go fight some stuff, though. So we have a zone generator that we use that we can spec out and create any sort of zone we want with mob populations and boss fights and also even like dungeon entrances. And it only takes about a day to make a whole new zone. And you can even have like custom POIs that are like designer crafted, but the zone system knows how to stitch things together very creatively. So then you can actually stitch multiple zones together dynamically as well. So you could travel our world over foot on land that would, might not be there the next time you try.
Okay. Here's a very pressing question for you. What do I do with Enchanted Park? Oh, used to build. There we go. Used to build sculptures or structures, rather. Excuse me.
Yes.
I don't think I can build anything.
We have a full crafting system kind of built in. Yeah. Oh, please don't die.
Does it auto target, or do I have to
pick
manually
tank.
target?
I think you have to manually target, though it might target you if it hits you.
Looks like 2
Any cool loot?
Potions.
Good.
Have you got in the ability to pass loot from one person to another yet?
Yes, you can. You can if you target me, we can trade.
There you go. Have a health potion, maybe.
Oh, thank you. You're so kind.
You don't need mana.
Well, actually, I do.
Wait,
My abilities cost mana too. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well then, let's.
Oh, you have lots of potions. You're so kind.
I don't know how to split them out. Oh wait, there was a bar there. Oh, that's all right. We'll go earn more.
That's all right.
If you're going to be up front, you need them.
Well, you need them too. But let's keep going, and I'll let you loot more. Woohoo! Taunted.
Apparently, this made him come after me anyway.
Yep. That happens. I mean, you are the boomstick mage, so you're going to pull aggro pretty effectively. There's more over this. Oh, we can, one of the things that we like to build as we go so that we don't get lost is a fire.
Uh-huh. You got someone coming up behind you, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Target dead.
But you handily took care of it.
No loot.
Nicely done. Well, that's disappointing.
This is a shiny
What's a
shadow.
pinata with no loot?
Just piece
the
of
lighting in
cardboard,
here
I
is a
guess.
little funky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very toxic looking.
Yes, it is.
It's red.
It is red.
It's very red.
Come on.
I wasn't planning on looting, but I will.
Oh, here's
random music's
the mana
playing now.
potion. Oh, does that mean it's the end of our stream? It's the end of our playtest session. Well, no, this is actually great timing because, we want to have a hard stop and respect everybody's time. But thank you so much, Joe, for coming and breaking our game. And
well,
finding
no
the
problem.
bug.
I'm good at that.
Like
this
huge
guy's not
bug.
going to take me down, though. I'm going to take this thing real quick. I don't know if that's a bug as much as maybe just the input config needs to be set a certain way so that machines like mine are prompted to load in a way that's favorable, I guess. I mean, eventually it would be a bug, but it seems to me like there's every game has input and config issues like that if it's a config thing.
Is what I love, and what you should know is that we're going to load this playtest into LiveAware, which is our tool for taking our playtest data, and it's actually going to make bug entries and also attach all of the suggestions that you've made to that bug entry as part of like a feedback collection effort that we're doing. So thank you so much. Actually,
cool.
Our engineers will be able to use what you were kind of working through to help us try to prevent that from another player running into that. So thank you.
Great. I hope it helps.
You should send me an invoice.
$1 million, right?
Yeah, this is 1 million. It'll be an IOU. But thank you so much in coming and playing Haven with us. And what did you think? Just high level.
I like this soft kind of I don't know what you call it. Soft instancing that's in here. This shared village area is cool. I like the idea that there's going to be a lot of quickly made zones. I'm a fan of systemic creation in games where you want to make the experience feel different a little bit every time, or at least have a lot of variety. I like the idea a deal of rule-based world building. I think that's going to be the future of games. So I'm curious to see where this goes. It's pretty interesting right now. I'm glad that I wasn't hamstrung for the whole time with that weird animation thing. But apologies if that was frustrating to watch for those who were watching me move very slowly. Oh, I've got a lot of health, and this guy's barely hurting me.
Well, it's perfectly fine.
There he goes. Yes.
He's still
so thank you for having me.
He's still like going after mobs.
Well, I'm offended by the audacity of that thing trying to attack me while I was talking. But yeah, thank you for having me. It was
Absolutely.
nice to be able to hang
So
out with
rude.
you all. It was fun to play around a little bit, and it was nice to see some familiar names in the chat as well. I hope that you all will have me again sometime.
Yeah, I think we saw Scoon in there watching, and Mike Ledger. Like, shout out to our friends from 38 Studios joining us today. I'm just like, it was a great stream, regardless of the technical issues, my internet issues. You know what? We just push through it because we're stubborn, scrappy game developers. That's what we do.
Awesome.
So thank you all for coming to our stream. Thank you, Joe, for joining us. And everybody, be sure to wishlist Battle Train. We'll post that URL into our chat one more time so that you all can go pump the wishlist numbers to help Joe out as best we can, as the way that we do as a community. So again, Terrible Posture Games, go buy their games, go wishlist them, and we'll catch y'all next week.
Thanks so much, folks.
Bye.
Hit that button and buy a t-shirt with a dragon on it, and that will help us keep making some awesome games. Looks like this. I've already seen a Unleashed t-shirt out in the wild that I wasn't wearing, and I'm super excited about seeing more of them. So yeah, buy a t-shirt.